Welcome to the Top 10 Gardener with Master Gardener Ken Lain. Gardening can be challenging, but with Ken's tips, tricks, and top 10 advice, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, welcome your garden host, Ken Lain.
And welcome to this week's edition of The Mountain Gardener, your host, Ken Lain, here every week talking about the landscapes of northern Arizona. It's kind of fun here at the garden center this week because the baby hummingbirds have launched. So we got all these tiny little hummingbirds, especially in the morning. They're really the antics. They're still trying to figure out flowers and they're buzzing around the salvia. We've got one of hummingbirds' just absolute favorite, their first go-to. It's their first time out of the nest flying around. They're flying around all the flowers at the garden center, and they just love red salvia or autumn sage. And it doesn't matter what color red. There's like a salmon red. There's a called hot lips. It's a white with a red edge. It's just pure red, radio red salvia. They just love red salvia, and they'll be all over them in the morning. It's almost ridiculous. Just kind of watch out, guys. I'm coming through. Got to put these over here. We're gonna show them off. They're so pretty. And they'll just follow you through the nursery trying to get to these flowers. Salvia, if you're new to the area, this is a really common plant here. I mean, that red comes in a lot of colors, but red seems to be the most popular because of all the hummingbirds. But it's a shrub about knee high, and call it knee wide, kind of ball shaped, real easy to grow. Loves full sun. If you give it more sun, you give more flowers. Takes the wind, takes our crummy soil. Just kind of a bulletproof plant. And it blooms from now through autumn. I mean, it's just ridiculous bloom cycle, which is why the hummingbirds like it so well. They're used to that flavor. Also comes in purple. I got a new blue one in. It's really cool. Called Violet Blue, I believe, something like that. Anyway, we got some new 2 gallons that just came in, some nice big full ones. So blue is a new color introduction, but red. Hummingbirds love red salvia for some reason. It's just fun, something different. I noticed this week the bumblebees are back. So I don't know where they go or what happens, but honeybees come out first. They're pollinating stuff. They started March, going after like a rosemary. They just love rosemary. And so they're out doing that. But bumblebees they're not out yet. I think they hibernate longer or wait for the soil to warm up. And then finally they come out and take off again. And it was carpenter bees. It's a black bumblebee. It looks like a bumblebee, but it's all black, has the stripes on it, but it's black stripes. And they're also called cutter bees. They'll take little perfect, like dime size holes out of your roses or out of your leaves. They're digesting them. They take them back to the nest. They build nests and that kind of stuff with it. They don't damage the plant. They just take holes out of it. It drives some gardeners crazy, but I just kind of went, well, it's nature. I'm willing to share a few holes in my leaves for carpenter cutter bees to go out there. So anyway, it's full circle. Everyone's out right now. Everything's growing. I could not think of a better type of weather to grow tomatoes. I mean, any kind of vegetable, it flowers, anything. It's 70s during the day, just under 80. At night, it's 50s. That is like the perfect window for growing things. Now, tomatoes and squash and cucumbers, they're going to actively grow. And then once you get up into that mid 90s, they halt. They kind of go, whoa, I don't know. This is pretty hot. I'm not going to produce fruit as much. So, but this sweet spot, this kind of weather right now, you could not ask for a better planting window to put vegetables in, to put herbs, honeysuckle, to put flowers like zinnias and geraniums and petunias. It's like the perfect growing weather because the days are warm but not hot. The evenings are cool but not cold. It's like perfect. So I've got how many tomatoes? I put in 5 peppers, 4 tomatoes. Let me think here. 2 cucumbers. I love growing pumpkins because if you want to impress the grandkids, they come out to visit during the fall. Just have them go pick a pumpkin with you. It's like magic. And so we always plant some of those. And so it'll continue. I'll plant a few things. Lots of flowers went in this week. And they are thriving. So you put them in because there's not these extremes back and forth. They take easier. They take better. Now, when you're planting, you prepare the soil, do all that stuff. And then I always give it some root and grow. They do kind of freak out. Like they're going to go into shock. They're going to go, "Whoa, what did you just do to me? I've known this little bucket here from my lovely gardener grower at the nursery, and now this is the perfect. They've perfectly watered me, gave me nutrients. I've been so happy, growing so fast. And you took them out of the bucket and chucked them in your soil. They're going to freak out. So I always give them root and grow. It's a compost tea that we make here. It looks like molasses almost. It's got a texture like that. You put 3 tablespoons in a gallon of water, and you just water things in. It helps things it soothes the roots of the plants, gets them to start rooting out faster, gets them to kind of acclimate to that new garden soil. It's every time I plant, I always do that. We mentioned that it's a good window to plant, not just your vegetable thing. I mean, yes, all the annuals are going in right now, all the flowers, all the vegetables, but you couldn't ask for a better time to put a new shade tree in. This is your time to put shade. If you want shade when it's hot in the summer, now's the time to put your aspens and your maples and your ash and your locusts and all those other fast growing shade trees. I had someone come in. They had bought a red maple, Acer rebrum, from a box store. Said, "What's wrong with my tree? Can you tell me? Help me. I went, "Well, first of all, we don't sell that tree for a reason here at Waters Garden Center because it's not a good tree for here, but I sure hope it was cheap at the box store. But I would say don't replace it when it fails for you finally with another of the same thing. Get something better. There's a Prescott Blaze maple that's so much faster growing. Doesn't do that curly stuff. Doesn't get have all the issues. So, but now's the time. Fruit trees. If you're putting a cherry tree, boy, the cherry harvest is unbelievable this year. It's lots of peaches this year. Apples are coming on, pears. All those can go in right now because it's the perfect window for them as well. The soil is warm. The days are warm, but not hot. The nights are cool, but not cold. And so they just root out really fast and very easily. If you need privacy, oh my gosh, we just had the most beautiful Arizona Cypress come in. These are full, chubby. This is our native evergreen. In fact, many of the junipers you see growing out there, they're not junipers. They're actually Arizona Cypress. And the only way I can really tell, the texture looks the same. It's 25 feet tall, 12 feet wide, solid. You can't see through it. So it's a good windbreak or privacy screen. But instead of a berry, so junipers put berries on, Arizona Cypress they put on like a golf ball size pine cone. So that's the real difference. Pine cones are berries. It's how they reproduce, but they're fast, some of the fastest growing of the evergreens, but you rarely see really big ones and really nice ones. And so we were able to get some of those this week. And if you put those in the ground now, your evergreens, they're going to root. They have to root first. When they're actually rooted out into the surrounding soil, then they start elongating or the top growth just takes off. So usually it's year 1, they root, year 2, they start growing, literally double in size the next spring season. If you could put them in now while this weather's just perfect window, I think you'll get more growth, additional growth this year, as well as additional growth next spring. So you working with the environment instead of against it, game changer. And gardeners know this. They know there's seasons for everything. So you don't put mums in the ground now because that's a fall crop. You're putting in echinaceas and iris and salvias, especially the red salvias. If you like baby hummingbirds, that's the one. So even if you have an apartment, putting a red salvia in a container on the deck or the patio, you will have more. They will come and visit you, guaranteed. No feeder needed. Just put a red salvia out there. Don't even have to pot it. Just put it out there. You're gonna see hummingbirds. It's just super fun. We got a lot in store for you. Lisa Watersling coming in with your garden questions right after this. Waters Garden companion plants in May are Indian hawthorn, purple robe locust, Prescott sunshine geraniums, and vining achebia.
Achebia is a super vigorous vine with dangling, fragrant flowers.
She proliferates up arbors, pergolas, fences, and stunning as a ground cover to retain hills.
One of the fastest growing evergreen vines you can plant in the gardens.
You'll only find the hardiest vines at Waters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
You're listening to Garden Master Ken Lain, owner of Waters Garden Center in Prescott. Join his daily podcast for timely garden advice seasonally right for the gardens. Ken can be found throughout the week at Waters Garden Center in Prescott or through his website at top10gardener.com.